Welcome to our kitchen. We are on day 50 of our Proven Cancer Strategies Revealed 90 Days to Cancer Resilience series. And we are wrapping up our second week on toxins, I guess our second toxin week, with our hands-on in the kitchen demo of some toxic-free or toxin-free DIY cleaning products. Last week in the kitchen on day 45, we did a couple of personal care products, a nice deodorant, and also a body scrub that's chocolate and peppermint. And this week we are going to do a pot and pan scrubber, a liquid dish soap, a natural air freshener, and if we have time, we're going to do a dishwasher detergent. These recipes are all so simple and safe, and something that you can get from everyday products in your home or that you can find at your grocery store. There's nothing really absorbent in it. So let's get started with our pot and pan cleaner because we have lots to cover today. So first up, now I wanted to clean the bottom of my pan. You see this pan? This is really dirty. And I did a test on it and it did clean some of it, but it needs something. This is like caked on like you wouldn't believe. So it does need something stronger. I'm going to look into that. But in the meantime, I do have, some of my pans. This one also is pretty bad at the bottom, so I'm going to look into that. But this one, you can see on the inside that it's not 100%. It's not bad, but it has some kind of little bit of residue on it. And what I'm going to do with cleaning it with a scrubber really didn't do anything. So I'm going to use this pot and pan cleaner on this, and we'll see what it looks like after. So this is really easy. What we're going to do is we're going to take some baking soda, and you want to use about 1 part of baking soda here. And here it's half a cup. But I'm just going to sprinkle it on the bottom of my pot so that it covers the bottom. All right. So I used because it's a small pan, I used about 1/4. And then I'm going to sprinkle some coarse salt. And I have a pickling salt here. That's a coarse pickling salt. I don't want to use any of my good salt. Like I've got some coarse Celtic sea salt, but I'm using this pickling salt that's, fairly cheap. It's not something I would use in my house for eating, but because I use all the Celtic salt or pink Himalaya salt. But at least for this, it does the trick because this is actually going to act as a scrubber. And so I'm just going to add that in to my pan here. So again, the recipe's kind of 1 part of baking soda and half a part, or 2 parts baking soda, 1 part of the coarse salt. I'm going to add a little bit of liquid dish soap here. Just going to add it as a grease cutter. Not too much, but just a little bit. And then I can put I'm going to wet a paper towel and put that on top. And then for extra cleaning power, you can add some vinegar. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray some vinegar on here just to get a little bit more. And what's cool about it is then the vinegar reacts with the baking soda, causes bubbling action, and it actually makes the paper towel puff up. So I've just put the wet paper towel down on top of my baking soda, salt, and dish soap. And now I'm going to let it sit till the end. I think you can see here, it's just sitting there. I'm going to put that to the side and move on. All right. Add this together. We are now going to make our dish soap. And so for our dish soap, so let me just see if there's anything else. Yes, so let's go back to our dish soap. We're going to take some Castile oil or soap. This is a pure Castile soap, Dr. Bronner's, which is very well known. And it is, I believe, EWG approved. It is a very mild soap, liquid soap. You can get it in, I believe you can get it in a bar as well. But this one is the liquid soap. And I'm going to put that in here. Let me just move this up so I can, here. Add my soap here. I'm going to do half a cup. And then I'm going to add some washing soda. And I'm used to baking soda, but I have washing soda here. And now washing soda is actually for the grease cutting power. And it is very similar to baking powder. But if you don't have washing powder, which I found it in the laundry section at the store. I'm just putting a half a tablespoon of that in there. You can get it, you can actually take baking soda and bake it in the oven for about an hour, and you will have washing soda. It actually transforms when you bake it. It transforms it into washing soda. Now, the one thing is that the package did say that, keep it away from children and it can be caustic. But it is natural. You can also use it in other cleaning products as well. I'm going to add a tablespoon of white vinegar here. Where's my white vinegar? I had a little thing of white vinegar. It moved up right here. I've got some white vinegar. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this. This is extra it's optional for extra shine. So I'm going to add that in. It kind of gives a little bit of a reaction to there. And then we can add some essential oil. I am going to add some lemon. So I'm going to make a lemon dish soap. You could add lemon, tea tree, just to give it some fragrance. And they also are good as well. So I've got about 10 drops or so. And then I can just stir it up. And we have a liquid. Oh, got to stir it up. All right. My washing powder clumped up right here. So you stir it up, and now you have a dish soap that you can use. Easy to make. All right, so it'll be a fairly runny one. Like the one that I have here, it's not as runny, but I actually like it a little bit on the runny side. All right. Note to self to make sure that I add the washing powder in and stir it up at the same time. All right. So this actually, I will probably use my immersion blender to mix this up. And we have a fairly mild dish soap here. It smells lemony fresh. All right. And the vinegar, if you want to add it, actually gives you a streak-free result. So that's why you would add the vinegar. And then you can pour it. What I'll do is I'm going to pour it into here after I use my immersion blender to get rid of the clumps. And we're going to move on. So this is something that, everybody likes to freshen their air. And candles are difficult because even though they smell so good, most of the candles actually are toxic to the air that we're breathing. So that's really sad because they actually make things smell good. And you can use essential oils to make the room smell nice. So you can use a diffuser, but another way is to make an air freshener. So we are going to do that now. And I have this cute little container I bought. So you can spray your air freshener around the room. And what we're going to do is I'm going to use a funnel because this is small. It's very simple. All we're going to do is take some water and add that in. We have about a cup of water. And then we're going to maybe take a little bit out until we make sure. Then we are going to add in the secret ingredient. This is vodka. And we're going to add a couple of tablespoons of vodka. You can also use rubbing alcohol. I don't have any of that in my house right now, so vodka will do. All right. Now you should use distilled water, or you can use filtered water if your filtered water is, you don't want to have any heavy metals in there and some of those impurities. Now, what the difference between filter and distill is in the distilling process, they actually boil the water. And the heavy metals and the contaminants stay in the pot that you're boiling it in, or in the vessel you're boiling it in. And then the steam rises and you condense the steam back into another vessel. And all of the sediment and the heavy metals and toxins are left in the original pot, and you have purified water on the other side in your once it's condensed. And if you've got if your filtered water is removing the heavy metals and those toxins, you can use that. But you may want to get some distilled water for this. And then all I'm going to add is some essential oils. And so I am going to pick a lavender oil here. And, you can use eucalyptus, or you could use a combination. So I'm going to add about 15 to 20 drops. All right, so that should do it. And you can play around with this, create your own scents. I have other things here. And basically that's it. You mix those ingredients up and you can spray around. Now, the vodka or the rubbing alcohol is used to disperse the essential oils so that they don't clog up. So that disperses it throughout the liquid. And then you can basically, and then it will evaporate quickly and you'll be left with the fragrance behind. And so then if I want to test, I'll test it on, make sure this is, so I can spray it in the air. And I have fresh air. Oh yeah, it smells so good. Very nice. And so this is your homemade Febreze here. All right, that's that. And last, okay, so on this one, You can, yeah, so if you don't have the vodka or you want to use rubbing oil instead, or rubbing alcohol, you can use that. So these are alternatives. I'm going to move on and do our dishwasher detergent. So I have a container here that I'm going to put my dishwashing detergent in. And this is going to be, all right, we're going to use the washing soda that we had before. We're going to use that. So we're going to do 1 cup of washing soda. Now, I have not used this myself yet, but I will, and I will report back on how it does with my laundry. I look forward to this because, buying all of these laundry detergents gets pretty expensive. So if I can find something here that is going to work, it's exciting, then it should save me some in the kitchen here. All right, I've got baking soda as well. So I'm doing a cup of baking soda. 2, 3, 4. That's a cup of baking soda. I'm going to add some citric acid to that. I gotta go 1/4 cup. Now, citric acid will add the sparkle and it prevents the hard water spots. And citric acid is usually, they use it for canning. It's the powder. And I did find it online. Amazon has quite a bit of it. So that's one place. I did find this at a grocery store in little packets. But you can get it there. And this is going to, like I said, give you the sparkle and it prevents those hard water spots. So instead of using like Finish or some other thing that you add, you've got your hard water spots. So I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup of that. And then I'm going to add in the salt, this coarse salt, and it acts as a scrubber. I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup of that. All right, and now I'm going to mix it up in my container, put it under my sink, and this is my dishwasher detergent. Now, can add it to my dishwasher, just mix it up. And this, you use 1 to 2 tablespoons per load in your dishwasher in the compartments. And away you go. So here is, I've got a nice tablespoon I can add with it, put it under my sink, and I am ready to go. Now, I'm going to try this one. I haven't tried either. I'm going to try it, and I will report back on how things are doing with it. Full disclosure. All right, back to my pot scrubber here. I'm going to put that in here. So I'm just going to scrub it up. It's nice and, I guess I'll say it's foamy because of the reaction between the vinegar and the baking soda. I'm just going to scrub that up, and it's the salt is making it very abrasive. I can hear the abrasion in it. You can just do that and rinse it. Ooh. Yeah, I haven't rinsed it out yet, but it is definitely shiny now. And we've gotten rid of those little scratchy marks in that film that was on there. So that actually worked. But I want to find a way to deal with this. It would be nice if it worked on this, but that is heavy duty. All right. I know, Kathy, you're watching, but I don't know if you have any questions before we sign off.
I think this is so interesting. I've never heard of washing powder, or if I did, I thought it was borax. You know what I mean? You know how some people refer to things? Because borax was always around the house growing up, so maybe that's what it was. but this has been extremely informative. Thank you.
You're welcome. So borax is different, and actually we have if you're interested in the recipes, we have a little ebook, and I've got, in addition to that, I also have uh, a laundry detergent recipe, and that has borax in it as well. So you can actually, borax is different than the washing soda. But they all, you can actually use the washing soda. Remember, you were wondering about how to get stains out.
Yeah.
You can use the washing soda as a way to do that, similar to borax, but they're a little bit different. I think you use them in combination for your laundry detergent. But they're both really good, and you can, from what I was reading, for the washing soda, you can also, like if you have heavy stains, put some in some water and soak your clothes in there, and it will, do a pre-soak before you actually wash them. That will help as well. So borax and washing soda are great. And it's interesting, the washing soda that I got, I'm not into brands or anything, but it was Arm & Hammer. So I think because Arm & Hammer also does baking soda.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it makes sense that baking soda, and then if you bake it for an hour at 400 degrees, you'll end up with washing soda. So that makes sense. And it was funny, at the store I was at, I had to ask someone to get it because it was way on the top. So I'm guessing that means that either they don't want to pay for the shelf space, or not very many people use it. So that's why it's at the top.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I will say this is a new area for me, but I'm very excited to have the opportunity to share what I've learned with everybody and try some of these things. I honestly was not aware of just how easy it is to make these DIY cleaning and personal care products. And so that's why I wanted to try and share them with you. So if you have experience with them, then share them in the comments. I'd love to hear if they work or they don't work for you, versus some of those heavy duty cleaning products. And if you click the link below in the description, there will be a link to the ebook for you as well, so you can pick up some of those recipes to make some things for yourself. And until then, enjoy. Ooh, smells so good. Bye for now. Oh, and I gotta say, stay resilient. Have a great weekend.